I can't believe it's happening either. I'm disgusted with what I've been seeing from the Steelers organization. But I think that him partying in South Beach, even though it was perfectly within his right to do so and what have you, and having that offensive line talk about him the way that it did, I'm not sure it's good for him to be in that locker room any longer. As a result, I think they recognize that. And although reports out of Pittsburgh are saying that the Steelers have not received any phone calls, that's what the report said, the ones that I read this morning. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers or what have you, I don't want him to go to a New England. I'd want to trade him in the NFC, which means Green Bay. But as far as what the best situation for Le'Veon is one of those two, and I would say New England. I would say New England because Danny Amendola is gone. Julian Edelman is coming back. With him and Gronk, if you have a guy out of the backfield that could pass catch like a Le'Veon Bell, that would do wonders for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots.
I told you before the season started. I told you in the preseason. I don't know Le'Veon Bell showing up. Everyone's, oh, he'll be there. Yeah, the reports, I don't know he's showing up. What's his recourse? The only way to get paid or get guys, he's got to play hardball. Then he didn't show up week one. I told you they should look to trade him. Everyone told me I was crazy. And I said Green Bay should be first in line. Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers play action with Le'Veon Bell? And by the way, 2 elite tackles. Good luck. There's no way to really stop that. It's like playing Madden with Mike Vick back in the day. Like, am I going to run? Am I going to pass? What am I going to do? There's no way to stop it. Green Bay is a destination. Now, they'd have to clear $8.5 million in cap room. I know it may not be feasible. I'm not a capologist. But I would tell you that that's where Le'Veon Bell should go. And he should, and that would make them instant, real Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, I will have to agree with Green Bay simply because when we look at the Green Bay Packers, and Stephen A., you've alluded to this a lot, the fact that when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, everything, literally everything is on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders. Everything. The playmaking, and Aaron Rodgers had to make all the spectacular plays outside the pocket. When was the last time the Green Bay Packers had a running back as dynamic as a Le'Veon Bell? I mean, literally, you have to go maybe back to Ahman Green as a guy who was somewhere in the stratosphere of a Le'Veon.
One Eddie Lacy.
A Le'Veon Bell. But when you look at a guy like Le'Veon Bell in that offense, first of all, we all know the running style that he has, the patience running behind an offensive line that I think most people would consider above average offensive line in Green Bay. Would take pressure off Aaron Rodgers, not to be able to go out there and be basically Superman and create all the plays to try to help his team win. Line him up. He's just as adept as being a receiver as a running back. You put him out in the passing game. If you're Aaron Rodgers, imagine the weapons that they would have in the passing game with a Le'Veon Bell out there.
Hold on.
That would be tremendous.
The question was, if you're Le'Veon Bell, where is the best fit? NFC is significantly tougher, number one. Number two, the Steelers ain't in the NFC. Steelers in the AFC, the team that refused to pay you, that franchise tagged you back-to-back years. You go to the number one nemesis for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it happens to be within the same conference. And by the way, a conference that is significantly less tougher than the NFC, because you got to remember, you got high-powered offense. You got the Kansas City. You got a Pittsburgh, all right? We got New England. We get that. Jacksonville, obviously, that's different. That's defensive. Their defensive prowess cannot be denied. But for the most part, when you think about the resistance within the NFC, the AFC can't compare to them. If I'm Le'Veon Bell, I'd rather.
Listen, but there's no way in the world that the Pittsburgh Steelers would do